Hi everybody, it's Cathryn from In the Pink Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, so all my supplies you can buy from Stampin' Up through me at the address at the top of the screen, and it's linked below also. My project today is a tote, which I use the Hello Ladybug bundle. You get 10% off if you get the stamp set and the punch at the same time. I also use the Abstract Beauty for the DSP for the background paper, and I use the Beautiful Shapes dies for this sentiment right here. The full box measures 6 by 3.5 by 1.5. All right, but up to the inside where you would put your stuff, you could actually go a little higher than this, but it is 3. Up to there, I think. Let me see. Yeah, it's 3 inches. Alrighty. So what I used for this. Okay, I used a piece of real red that is 10.5 by 7.5. We need scraps of basic black and granny apple green, and real red for the bugs and the ladybugs and the leaves. And then we need 2 pieces for the front, 1 basic black that is 6 by 3, and 1 of the DSP that is 6 by 2 3/4. And this is the Abstract Beauty DSP, so it is a 4 by 6, so this fits perfectly. All right, I didn't put any on the back, but you can put 1 whole strip on the back if you want to. All right, let's start with our piece of real red cardstock. I'm going to get my Simply Scored. And we're going to start on the 10.5 inch side. And we're going to score at 1.5. 1.5, 5, 6.5, and 10. And we're going to turn it to the 7.5 inch side, and we're going to score at 1.5. Then we're going to score at 4.5, but only on the small pieces. All right. So we're going to put it on the a ruler right before the 4.5 spot, and then we're going to go to the first score line, skip this section, and then we're going to go from the second to the third score line, skip this section, and then the skinny rectangle will just go. So that keeps it, it's kind of hard to judge sometimes where it is since there's so many lines. So that's what I do. Alrighty. Now I'm going to fold and burnish. And today is the last day of Celebration. So if you wanted any of the goodies from the Celebration catalog, today's your last day to order. And if you wanted to join and get the free 2 stamp sets along with the $125 worth of product for $99 plus free shipping, that extra 2 stamp sets ends today. Okay. Now this is what we want to do. Alrighty. Alright, so your skinny rectangle is on the right hand side. Alright, we're going to start over here on the left. And there's a square here. We're going to cut the side of the rectangle here next to it straight up to the first score line. And then we're going to wedge a little bit out of each side of the square. Go to the other side of the rectangle, cut that straight, skip the square for now, go to this rectangle and cut that side straight, and then wedge a little piece out of each side of the square. Okay. All right, now the other side of this rectangle, cut it straight up to the first score line, and then you want to wedge up a little bit into the piece above. Alrighty, now we're going to turn it so that what's left of the skinny rectangle is on the left-hand side. Alright, now we're going to start again on the left. And what we're going to do is take this whole piece of the skinny rectangle off. So we're going to cut it straight up to that small score line we made, and then cut it off. Oopsie. Okay, alrighty. Go to the other side of this main piece of the box, and we're going to cut this score line all the way up to the next small piece we left. Okay, we did. Go to the other side of that rectangle and cut it straight to that same score line. And now I want you to take about half of it off, maybe a little less than half, and just wedge a little bit off of each side. Okay, and that's what that looks like. All right, now we're going to go to the other side of this piece of the main body, and we're going to cut straight up to that small score line we made. And then we're going to cut a little less than half off. And we're going to wedge each side. Okay. Now we're going to do it a little bit differently this time with the DSP. We need to use this, also this piece. I wish that they hadn't gotten rid of our oval dies, but since we don't have that, I'm going to use this die from the Beautiful Shapes dies, which is the same as this. We use the extra piece for the sentiment. All right. We need to cut through the DSP and the cardstock also. Now, I don't know if it's great to put all 3 layers through your machine. So what we'll do first is we're going to take the 3-inch piece, 3-inch by 3-inch by 6-inch piece of basic black cardstock, and the 6 by 2 3/4 inch piece of the Abstract Beauty Designer Series paper, and we're going to attach them together. All right, and I'm going to use Stampin Seal because I don't want the glue to get squeezed out when we put it in the machine. And I'm going to put extras just so that we're going to cut that piece off. I don't want it to gape at this area here. All right, and then I'm just going to start at one end and make sure it's straight because this is really hard to reposition. And then let it go all the way down. All right, now let's see what I did here. I think it's about, yeah, it's about a 1/2 inch down. Okay, now we're going to take this die and we're going to make our handle in this piece and put it about maybe a 1/2 inch, maybe a little bit less down, whatever you're comfortable with. All right, and then I'm going to take some of my low-tack tape. Just going to place it on there so that it stays, whoops, my finger has some glue on it. All right, make sure it's straight, and then I'm going to run this through the machine by itself right now. Okay. Then I'm just going to take this off gently. And this piece you can use for another project. Okay, now we're going to attach this on the front and make sure that the front is the one that doesn't have the seam. And I'm going to use it with the Stampin Seal again, because again, I don't want any of the glue squeezing out. Or you could, if you want to use glue still, you could just wait till it's completely dry to put it through your machine so that nothing comes off. All right, and then I'm just going to put it right at the top, make sure that it's nice and even on the sides. Just press it down. Just like that. All right, and then just place your die right in there. And this way your machine won't have to cut all three at once. Now, if your machine is strong enough to do that, you can do it all three. Just put them all together and then put the die on. All right, I'll be right back. And I neglected to mention before that make sure that you pop your underneath pieces under so that it will go through nicely. All right, now I'm going to take this piece off. Okay, and then this is what we'll use for our sentiment. Now, we're just going to guesstimate on this, make it about the same, and run this through again. Now, if you have a punch that is good for the handles, you like what it would do for the handles, by all means do that. It'll be much quicker. I tried to use the layering ovals dies, but first of all, it would be the scalloped one, which I didn't want, but I was going to do it. But this is so close that the oval, the in-between of the two, you would only have like a 1/16 of an inch down from the top, and I just didn't want to do that. I really wish they had kept our layering oval dies. Maybe the new catalog's coming out. This kind of bent a little bit because I didn't fold it right, unfortunately. All right. Now I'm just going to put this one in, and I'll be right back. Okay. And I'm just going to gently peel that off for the last time, and we're done. All right. It is infinitely easier if you have a punch that will go through what you need it to. But we don't have one right now. All right, or you could just do a circle. If you have a circle punch, you could just do a circle. All right, now we need our tear and tape. And that's why pretty much I didn't put one on the back, because it would have been so much trouble to do that again. All right, so we're gonna put this on the, what's left of the skinny rectangle, close to the score line. I'm going to take my take your pick tool and take off the backing. And then we'll flip it over, flip the side with the tape over first, and then the other side to meet it. Okay, now obviously this is our back, so we're going to put the sides in and the back, and this is where we're going to put the tape, which is the back of the front flap. Alrighty, and I'm going to put two just because it's wider than usual. Alright. If you're only going to put something very light in, you probably don't need the two, but I don't know yet. So, right, and I'm just going to put them together. And if you see how a little bit is sticking up, I'm just going to put, well, first of all, I need to trim it because it's a little long. Oops. Okay, that's good then. And if you have any pieces that are pulling up, just stick a little bit of liquid glue in the edges. Okay, now what's next? All right, that's done for now. And these side pieces will just fold in, and that's the box. Alrighty. Okay, now we don't need, and you even have an extra label in case you make a mistake. Okay, now we don't need to stamp the ladybugs because I just used the cardstock for it, but we have to stamp the wings and the sentiment. All right, so first let's just get our pieces that we need. So we're going to do 2 ladybugs. So we need 2 of the black ladybug pieces. Okay. All right, so we have 2 of those. And then we need 2 red wing parts. And then we need 1, 2, 3, 4 of the wing parts punched out of Granny Apple Green, and that makes our leaves. Alrighty, and the only thing we have to stamp is the Ladybug Wings. So I'm going to get some Tuxedo Black Ink. I'm using my Stampin' Pierce mat because it's photopolymer. And then I'm going to get this this right here stamp for the back, for the spots on the ladybug. Excuse my head. And I'm just going to... It's much easier to fill them in this way than if you stamped it and had to fit the black in. You can be a little off this way. Alright, there's our wings. And then for our sentiment, I'm using 2 of them. I'm using Hello and It's a Good Day. Alright, so first the Hello at the top. Didn't get that all the way. So we have our other one. So, Hello. And It's a Good Day. Okay. And that's it for stamping. Alright, now we need the silicone mat in case it gets all gluey. I don't think so though. It's not too hard. And I'm just going to put liquid glue on the back of my wings. I just put a little bit down by the inside and a little under the neck. Alright, and the first part we're going to do is the sentiment. And we use our... First, what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to just take this. Oops, that's where I want it again. All right, and I'm just going to make a line where the leaves are with a pencil. All right, and then I'm going to put some glue on and line up that line. Okay, and then I'm going to get some dimensionals and put it on the sentiment. Just so that it covers up the end of the leaves there. Okay, and then for this one, I'm going to have to cut this. Okay, and I'm going to put 1 down and 2 up, and then we're going to put our ladybug like, it has to go up. Just like this. Oh. Maybe a little bit more like that. No, maybe I'm just going to put them like that and like that. Just make sure that it's right. It's exactly where you want it. Turn them a little bit more. Okay, that's where I want the leaves. So I'm just going to make marks where the edges are. And get my glue. And put my leaves down. Alright, and then I'm going to take my first ladybug and put some dimensionals. And I'm just going to make sure that she covers up It's a little bit different. I had that one up a little higher, but that's okay. We'll figure that out. All right, and then the other 2 are going to go about right here. each one's going to turn out probably a little different unless you do like 100 or like 5. I shouldn't be so exaggerating. And then we'll put her right on there with 2 dimensionals. This is a perfect spring, well, summer, but it can be used for spring too. Yeah, let's put one more leaf there, just because I feel like since I moved this up a little, it needs a little something there. Yeah. Work in progress all the time, right? Okay. Now I'm going to get some of the faux linen real red ribbon. This is really nice. It ties nice. It's very light. So we're going to stand up our bag, and I want to tie it on the right hand side. Okay. Then I'm just going to clip it off. I like that one. Let's see. Okay. Okay, there we go. And then for the final touch, I'm adding some matte decorative dots, the yellow ones. And I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool, the sticky end, and I'm going to put one. Let's see. I put it over here on, well, maybe I still will. I'll put one there. One right up here. Goodness. And one up there. There we go. See how they came out just a little different, but I like them anyway. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below, or you can use my email, which is linked below. The address to my blog is linked below. That will have all the measurements again. And please subscribe and hit the like button. And if you would like to become a team member, I would love it. And the join button is down there also. Have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.